Let me just begin by saying I think that you're 100% wrong. We are having a climate crisis. How do I know? Well, I know because 13 federal agencies, including your own, in November, issued a report. And here's what all 13 federal agencies said, that our efforts do not yet approach the scale necessary to avoid substantial damages to the economy, environment, and human health. Now, how did President Trump respond when asked about the conclusion of the National Climate Assessment that your agency helped to produce, that climate change could devastate the American economy? He said, "I don't believe it." Do you agree with Donald Trump?
I believe President Trump is referring to the media reports of the assessment itself. And I questioned the media reports as well because they focused on the worst case scenario, and they also focused on one study that was actually not in the report, and that's the study that said that there would be a 10% hit to the GDP. And I believe that's what he was referring to, and that was what I raised questions about after the assessment was released.
So you don't agree with the broader conclusion that the actions we're taking do not approach the scale necessary to avoid substantial damage to our country? You don't agree with that?
No, I did not say that, Senator.
I'm asking you that question. Do you agree with that conclusion?
I've been briefed by my career staff after the assessment came out, and I've asked a number of questions, and we have a number of follow-up briefings scheduled for them to go over the findings in the assessment.
This report came out in November. You're the head of the EPA. We're heading to the end of January.
I did not review the report before it came out. There was no political interference in the assessment. And we've been shut down for the last few weeks, but I've been briefed by my staff once on the assessment, and we have several briefings scheduled before I can make further public comments.
That's unacceptable. I mean, you're looking to be confirmed as the head of the Environmental Protection Agency, and we're having a hearing on your worthiness for this job, and you very conveniently haven't had enough time yet to review whether or not there's an extra level of urgency to this problem. You're saying that it's a worst case scenario that they're talking about, huh? And so therefore you don't have to deal with it. But the worst case scenario is your proposal to roll back the fuel economy standards in our country. The worst case scenario is your proposal to roll back the rule to reduce emissions dramatically from the coal burning plants in our country. And that's where it's relevant that you are a former coal industry lobbyist who is sitting here. Your proposal to roll back those regulations. That's the worst case scenario, what you are proposing. Here's the problem that I have, sir, with you. In this hearing, you're putting up a smokescreen to ensure that there is an advancement of Donald Trump's dirty policies. And the impact on ordinary families, their health, the health of our country, the security of our country is absolutely urgent. The American people want higher fuel economy standards. They want higher standards for reducing pollutants going into the lungs of the people in our country. And what you're here doing is defending Donald Trump's policy. "I don't believe it," he said. Well, the American people believe it because they know that it's American scientists that came to this conclusion, including your own. And you can say you haven't had time to read it, but that in and of itself, from my perspective, is a disqualification for having the job which you are sitting here seeking to be nominated.
I didn't say I didn't read it. I said that I haven't finished.
There will be order.
Briefed on it by my staff, sir.
The senator's time has expired.